Assalamualaikum and hi to all my classmates and also Dr. Halimatun. Today we would like to present about chapter 7, the theory of money demand. My name is Shakila Habib and my partner Muhammad Farhan Rizlani. Okay, let's proceed to the first slide. First of all, I would like to explain about quantity theory of money. Quantity theory of money is a classical theory that related the amount of money in the economy to the nominal income. This theory states the change in the quantity of money tend to affect the purchasing power of money inversely. The most important feature of this theory is that it suggests that interest rates have no effect on the demand for money. Okay, next. The relationship between money and interest rate in classical model. First, money is used for transactionary purpose only. Money has no effect on the real interest rate, the naturality of money, but on the general price level only. This change in money will leave the level of real economic activity, real income, and the real interest rate all unchanged. 3. Money will affect prices based on the quantity theory of money. There are four theories for money demand. First, Fisher quantity theory of money. 2. Cambridge approach to money demand. 3. Keynesian liquidity preference theory. 4. Friedman model quantity theory of money. First, Fisher's quantity theory of money demand. Velocity of money and equation of exchange. Irving Fisher wanted to examine the link between the total quantity of money, M, and the total amount of spending on final goods and services produced in the economy, P times Y. M, the money supply, P, price level, Y, aggregate output or income. The concept that provides the link between M and P times Y is called velocity of money, the rate of turnover of money. The average number of time per year that a ringgit is spent in buying the total amount of goods and services produced in the economy. Velocity is defined precisely as total spending P times Y divided by the quantity of money M. V equals to P times Y per M. By multiplying both sides of the definition by M, we obtain the equation of exchange which relates nominal income to the quantity of money and velocity. M times V equal to P times Y. The velocity is determined by the institution in an economy that affect the way individuals conduct transactions. If people use credit card to conduct their transaction and use less money when making purchases, less money is required to conduct the transaction generated by nominal income, less M compared to P times Y, and velocity P times Y per M will increase and vice versa. Fisher took the view that the technology feature of the economy will affect velocity only slowly over time, so velocity would normally be reasonable constant in the short run. Quantity theory. Fisher's view that velocity is fairly constant in the short run transformed the equation of exchange into the quantity theory of money, which states that the nominal income is determined solely by movement in the quantity of money. 2. The quantity theory of money then implies that if M doubles, P must also be doubled in the short runs because V and Y are constant. 3. For classical economists say, the quantity theory of money provided explanation of movement in the price level. Movements in the price level result solely from change in the quantity of money. Quantity theory of money demand. The quantity theory of money tells us how much money is held for given amount of aggregate income. By dividing both sides of the equation of exchange by V, M equal 1 per V times Py, where Py is nominal income. When money market is equilibrium, the quantity of money M that people hold equals the quantity of money demanded MD. So the equation be written as MD equal K times Py. MD equals the quantity of money demanded. K, the quantity 1 over V. K to represent 1 over V. Y, real G and P. Increase in M will result in increase in P. V and T are constant. Because K is constant, the level of transaction generated by a fixed level of nominal income, Py determines the quantity of money MD that people demand. The demand for money is determined by 2. By the level of transaction generated by the level of nominal income Py. 2. By the institution in the economy that affect the way people conduct transactions that determine velocity and hence K. Okay, for the second theory is Cambridge approach to money demand. Economists in Cambridge were studying the same topic as Fisher, the demand for money, although their analysis led them to an equation identical to Fisher's equation. MD equals K times Py. Their approach differs significantly. MD is money demand, K for interest rate, P for price level, and Y aggregate output or income. The Cambridge economy asks how much money individuals will want to hold. Individuals are allowed to hold money and are not completely bound by institutional constraints such as whether they can use credit cards to make purchases. According to the Cambridge approach, did not rule out the effect of interest rates on the demand for money. The classical Cambridge economists recognized that two properties of money motivate people to want to hold it. First, medium of exchange. 2. Store of wealth. Medium of exchange. People can use money to carry out transactions. The demand for money will be related to the level of transaction and there will be a transaction component of money demand proportional to nominal income. 2. Store of wealth. The level of people wealth also affect the demand for money. They also believe that the wealth component of money demand is proportional to nominal income. The Cambridge economy expressed the demand for money as MD equal K times Py. Okay, now I will explain about the difference between Fisher's quantity theory of money and Cambridge approach. First, for Fisher quantity theory emphasized technology factor. For Cambridge approach emphasized individual choice. Second, view money primarily as medium of exchange. Meanwhile, for Cambridge approach, view money as a medium of exchange and a store of value. For Fisher quantity theory, K is a stable. Cambridge approach, K is not necessarily stable. 4. Emphasize the demand for money. For Cambridge approach, submerge the demand for money in the velocity concept. Last but not least, Fisher quantity theory ruled out any possible effect of interest rate on the demand for money in the short run. Cambridge approach did not rule out the effect of interest rate. I will pass to Muhammad Farhan to continue this presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Thank you everyone who is watching and Dr. Halim Matun for this opportunity. So I'll be presenting the slides after this. And thank you to Shakila for presenting earlier on. So enjoy everyone for watching the next slides.
Hi, so I'll be explaining about Keynes's liquidity preference theory. John Maynard Keynes developed a theory of money demand that emphasized the importance of interest rates. This theory is actually an extension of the Cambridge approach. According to Keynes' theory, ask the question, why do individuals hold money and what influences the individual's decision? There are three motives behind this theory, that is, transactionary motive, precautionary motive, and speculative motive. Transactionary motive. Keynes emphasized that individuals are assumed to hold money because it is a medium of exchange. Thus, Keynes emphasized that this component of the demand for money is determined primarily by the level of people's transactions. Keynes believed that these transactions were proportional to income, and it is positively determined by income. An interest rate does not have any influence on the demand of money. Precautionary motive. According to Keynes, people hold money as a cushion against an unexpected need. Belief that the amount of precautionary money balances people want to hold is determined primarily by the level of transactions that they expect to make in the future, and that these transactions are proportional to income. Interest rate does not have any influence on the demand of money. For example, in our textbook, you have been thinking about buying a fancy stereo. You walk by a store that is having a 50% off sale on the one you want. If you are holding money as a precaution for just such an occurrence, you can purchase the stereo right away. If you are not holding precautionary money balances, you cannot take advantage of the sale. Speculative motive. Keynes agreed that wealth is tied closely to income, so the speculative component of money demand MD would be related to income Y. Keynes divided the assets that can be used to store wealth into two categories, money and bonds. People would want to hold money if its expected return was greater than the expected returns from holding bonds. For bonds, there are two components of the expected return, the interest payment and expected return rate of capital gains. If you expect interest rate to rise, you expect the price of bond to fall and therefore suffer a negative capital gain or loss. In this case, you would want to store your wealth as money because its expected return is higher. Keynes assumed that individuals believe that interest rates are moved to some normal value. If interest rates are below this normal value, individuals expect that interest rates on bond to rise in the future and so expect to suffer capital losses on them. As a result, individuals will be more likely to hold their wealth as money rather than bonds, and the demand for money will be high. If interest rates are above the normal value, this will be vice versa. So the conclusion is, as interest rates rise, the demand for money falls, and therefore money demand is negatively related to the level of interest rates. Interest rate is determined by the intersection of the money supply curve and the money demand curve. Putting the three motives together, these three motives indicated would be related to real income and to interest rates. Demand for money equation known as the liquidity preference function. Money demand divided by P equals for demand for real money balances, I is for interest rates, and Y is for real income. The minus sign below I means that the demand for real money balances is negatively related to the interest rate. The plus sign below Y means that the demand for real money balances and real income are positively related. MD and IR should be negatively related using the concept of opportunity cost, that is, the amount of interest, expected return, sacrificed by not holding the alternative assets, bonds. Below shows the relationship between quantity of MD with the IR, in which the money demand curve slopes downward. At interest rate of 25%, it shows the quantity of money demanded is 100 million. If the interest rate is at a lower rate of 20%, the opportunity cost of money is lower and the quantity of money demanded rises to 200 million ringgit. Liquidity preference functions for velocity. Theory implies that velocity is not constant but instead fluctuates with movements in interest rates. Equation rewritten as P divided by MD equals to 1 divided by F, I and Y. Multiply both sides by Y and replacing MD with M. V equals to PY divided by M equals to Y divided by F, I and Y. We know that demand for money is negatively related to interest rate. As interest rate goes up, quantity of money declines. Therefore, velocity rises. A rise in interest rate encourages people to hold lower real money balances for a given level of income. Therefore, the rate of turnover of money, velocity, must be high. Friedman's modern quantity of money. Friedman's analysis is based on the question of why people choose to hold money. Instead of analyzing specific motives for holding money, Friedman stated that the demand for money must be influenced by the same factors that influence the demand for any asset. The demand for money should be a function of the resources available to their health, expected returns on other assets relative to the expected return on money. Like Keynes, Friedman recognized that people want to hold a certain amount of real money balances. Friedman expressed that the formula of the demand of money based on assumption that people want to hold a certain amount of real money balances and expressed his formula of the demand for money as follows: MD divided by P equals to F YP RB minus RM RE minus RM pi E minus RM. MD divided by P is demand for real money balances. YP is measure of wealth known as permanent income. RM expected return on money. RB expected return on bonds. RE expected return on equity, which is common stocks. Pi E expected of inflation rate. Demand for an assets is positively related to wealth, thus money demand is positively related to Friedman's wealth concept, that is permanent income. Permanent income has much smaller short-run fluctuations because many movements or income are momentary. One implication of Friedman's use of the concept of permanent income, average long-run income, as determinant of the demand for money will not fluctuate much with business cycle movements. Wealth can be on other forms such as bonds, equity, common stock, and goods. The incentives of holding these assets rather than money are represented by the expected return on each of these assets relative to the expected return on money. The expected return on money, which appears in all three terms, is influenced by two factors. Number one, services provided by banks on deposit included in the money supply, such as provision of receipts in the form of cancelled checks or the automatic paying of bills. When these services are increased, the expected return from holding money rises. Number two, the interest payments on money balances. Some accounts and other deposits pay interest. As these interest payments rise, the expected return on money rises. Differences between Friedman and Keynesian theory. Friedman theory, inclusion of many assets as alternatives to money, does recognize that more than one interest rate is important to the operation of the aggregate economy, which by Keynesian theory is lump financial assets other than money into one big category, bonds, because he felt that their returns generally move together. For Friedman theory is viewed as money and good as substitutes. Changes in quantity of money have direct effect on aggregate spending, while Keynesian theory, money and goods are not viewed as substitutes. For Friedman theory, changes in interest rate should have a little effect on the demand for money. Permanent income is the primary determinant of money demand. while Keynesian theory took the expected return of money to be a constant. Interest rates are an important determinant of the demand for money. Friedman theory random fluctuations in the demand for money are small and it can be predicted accurately by the money demand function, that is, velocity is highly predictable. Thus, money demand function does not undergo substantial shifts and so is stable. For Keynesian theory rejected the view that velocity could be treated as a constant because it will change the expectation about future normal levels of interest rate changes. An unstable expectation about future movements in normal level of interest rate can lead to instability. For Friedman theory uses the concept of permanent income, while Keynesian theory uses the concept of measured income, real.
And that's all for this topic that we're presenting. I want to say thank you everyone who is watching from early until the very end. I hope you understand what we're trying to explain, and I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.